Chapter 5. The next Saturday morning was bright and sunny. Johnny woke up early and climbed onto his bike. The town was still mostly asleep when he pedaled through. An old milk truck was making deliveries, and he saw a paperboy tossing copies of the morning paper up onto people's steps and porch roofs. But no businesses were open. Johnny crossed the bridge over the Merrimack River and rode into the part of town called Cranbrook. He turned in at the little two-story house owned by the Ferguson family. Fergie's dad was home from his sales trip because his rusty old blue Ford was parked in the driveway. Swinging off his bike, Johnny kicked down the stand and stood the Schwinn under the shade of an oak. He went up onto Fergie's front steps and settled down to wait. One way or another, Johnny was going to see Fergie this morning. He waited more than half an hour. Then he heard noises coming from inside the house, the rattle of dishes and the scraping of chairs around the breakfast table. Taking a deep breath, Johnny got up and knocked on the front door. He heard footsteps, and then the door swung open. Mrs. Ferguson stood there looking a little startled. "Oh, Johnny," she said. "I couldn't imagine who was knocking on our door this early. Come in and have some breakfast." "Thanks, Miss Ferguson," mumbled Johnny. She led him back to the kitchen where Fergie and his dad were sitting at the breakfast table. They looked up in some surprise. "Hi," said Johnny to Fergie as he slipped into a chair. "Hi," muttered Fergie, his face getting red. He looked sleepy and grouchy, as he usually did in the morning. Mrs. Ferguson put a plate in front of Johnny. "Here," she said. "Have some eggs, Johnny? Some sausage? I'll put in 2 more pieces of toast for you." "Thanks," said Johnny. She poured him a glass of orange juice, and Johnny tucked in. The scrambled eggs were delicious, fluffy, and light, with cheddar cheese whipped into them. Mr. Ferguson smiled at him. "Well, I'm glad you're here, Johnny," he said. "Fergie and you are about as close as brothers, so I want you to hear my announcement, too. Everybody, you will be glad to know that Mr. George Ferguson is moving up in the world. Beginning 2 weeks from Monday, I'm going to be a full-time salesman for Baxter Motors right here in Duston Heights." Mrs. Ferguson smiled at her husband. Johnny grinned and congratulated him, but Fergie just stared for a long time. "What?" he asked at last. "It's true," said Mr. Ferguson proudly. "I'll have a salary, and I'll work on commission, too, so I'll earn even more than my basic pay whenever I sell a used car. Funny thing, I was coming back home yesterday afternoon, and my car conked out just north of Ellisboro. Just died on me. So I pulled off onto the shoulder, and then this guy..."